or Tim, it's only been 1 year, or Tim, it's been 6 months. I don't care. What I will say is it should have been about 3 years ago from today. Okay, so that tells me that there should have been an opportunity that he could have passed over earlier, or I don't want to say he should have, but the opportunities were there for him to pass over. It should now be approaching the 30th anniversary of his passing. And you might say, Tim, it hasn't been 6 months, or Tim, it hasn't been 1 year. That's fine. What I'm trying to get at is that there were opportunities lingering there. It's like a ticking time bomb waiting to go off, and it's just like nobody knew. Okay, so that's what I say. You know, it's kind of like a tire in a car. It's like it looks totally fine, but if you take the tire off and you scrape down inside, they'll say, ah, right, here's a bubble right here that you can't tell from the outside. But if you take that tire off and look inside the rim, which nobody does, they'd say, oh, there's a little bubble there. Okay, there's a weakness there. And so if that happens, then that tire's already ruined. But I'm trying to get at with him is that there's already an opportunity that he could have passed over. Would that make any sense to you? Okay, when I say ticking time bomb.
Yes.
Okay, well, you can say no, and you can say it doesn't make sense, but I just really feel that he could have had the opportunity to pass over a little bit sooner. Okay? Also, too, on your drive down here today, he says, I was the main talk, or I was the main thought, or something like this, all right? And he says, I was there always. I was here always, meaning I was here during the entire time. So, in any event, he just talks. He says, give love to the rest of them. He puts up 3 fingers, okay? And he says, I love them. I love them, I love them, I love them. But it's the 3 fingers, okay? What that means, I don't know. But, you know, there's a sarcasm with him. There's a jokingness with him because it's like he shows me, he says, I'm giving you 3 fingers, not just the middle one. In any event, he just says, when he puts up the 3 fingers, he says, give the love to the 3 of them. Okay, that's what I keep getting at. Right. The other thing too is you weren't supposed to. He says you weren't. I think it's you. You were not supposed to be there. I don't know what that means. I think it's with you, Sterling, but I hear you were not supposed to be there, meaning before his passing or at his passing. You were not supposed to be there, something like that. So I don't know how to interpret that, okay? I don't like asking questions, but I want to ask this one. Sterling, when he expired, did you rush to get there, or were you rushing to get there?
Yes.
Okay. He's standing behind you during this whole thing, and he says, tell him he was wasting his time, meaning you're rushing for nothing. So, you know, it's like you're wasting your time. It's kind of like, gosh, how do I explain it? It's kind of like, you know, the movie starts at 8 o'clock, and you're rushing there at 8:30, but they lock the doors. They don't let anybody in the movie, and you're rushing like 2 hours away, you know, trying to get there for wasted energy. And he says the effort was very much appreciated. Okay, the effort was very much appreciated, but you're wasting your time. You understand that? Okay, so just know, yeah, you wasted energy there, but he was very appreciative for the energy that was spent on that. Do you understand? Because it was the effort that was there, okay? Again, I'll say this to you. This year will be your year, Sterling. This year will be your year. I don't know what that means, but you'll find that this year and next year will be your base. And when I say base, it's kind of like everything's going on right now as you're laying the foundation, okay? And, you know, when you build a home or build a business, you have to have that concrete slab if you're going to put on concrete. This is what you're still building up right now. And when you have a good concrete slab, then you can build anything up. That's all, okay? Right. Brindley, he looks at you and he just kind of uses his 2 fingers and goes like this to your cheek. And he says, I wish I would have got to know you better or longer or something like that. And he stands here and he says, I wish I would have got to know you longer. I wish I would have known you better. Okay. Did you only know him for about 5 years?
Longer.
Longer. Okay. A little longer, like 7 or?
10.
By 10. Okay, that's fine. 10 is 10. But let me just put it this way. he just shows me something about a good 5 years. Okay, now I hear you that I hear that I know it's been 10. I get that. But he said something about a good 5 years. So how I would interpret that would be like the good 5 or 6 years that he really got to know you. Okay, like really got to know you. Maybe I don't know, maybe the last 3, maybe you moved away and didn't get to see him so much. Maybe the first 3, he didn't get to know you. I don't know. But I can tell you, sure, you knew for 10. But he just shows me the last, something about a good 5 years, something like that. Okay? That's okay. That's all right. That's okay. So, in any event, right. But I'll tell you, he shows me. He says I was one of the main invites in here today, and he says that I was on the mind now. I was on their mind. I was on their mind, and he says thank you. And what he shows me in his heart area, okay, he says it's perfectly fine. He goes, everything is fine. Everything is fine. He says everything is fine. Okay. The other thing too, he says I met up with. Okay. Here it is. The boys are over there with him. These are his friends. I'm sorry, I only heard that right now. Because he kept on saying something about the boys. Because what happened is there's like 3 other men that just walked in right now. 4 other men that walked in. These would be either brothers, friends, something like this, but these are men, and they knew him very well. So these are the boys that he's referring to that he linked up with. Okay? But he's also going back with you in the memories when you were a kid. So that's what I keep on getting about that. All right? Fine. Right. Right. He brings in a flower, but it's not for you and it's not for you, Brinley. It's for another woman who's not here. And what he does is when he brings the flower and there's a tear that drops down his eyes. And he says, I'm sorry for not saying goodbye to her. And he says, please tell her I love her. I think that'd be his wife. Okay? Whether that's his wife, your mother, Sterling, or just his wife, period. But he brings in this flower, and a tear runs down his eye, and he says, I'm sorry for not being there for her. And he looks at me, 2 things he says. He says, number 1, I never realized what type of an influence I left on all of them until I passed over. He says, I never realized that. And then the other thing he shows me, he says, I miss doing a lot of nothing with her. And that would be, I think, his wife. Okay? A lot of nothing is just like a lot of nothing. Okay? Sitting down, reading paper, even if you have to read the paper twice, hey, sitting down, doing nothing. Love that. And he says, I still get to do a lot of nothing over here, but he says, without my love. So I really feel he's trying to make mention